welcome. It is December 10th and this is Flossmas. I am Geraldine and this is my channel about all of my crafty things, mainly cross stitch, a little bit of knitting, maybe some other crafty stuff thrown in there. And it's the holiday season, and so every day I am coming to you with some updates on a few of my Christmassy holiday projects. So I'm participating in the Imagined Landscapes Gnome Knit Along, hosted by Sarah Shira, the designer. I'm knitting with yarn from the Loopy U, and I have a advent pack that goes along with that stitch along. And then I'm also opening the Evertote Leo and Roxy Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown Stitch Along, which is a Frisian band sampler cross stitch kit. And so every day we are opening a small piece of the pattern and a new color of floss. And at the end I'll have a beautiful cross stitched piece and 25 floss colors that I believe are mostly unique to the countdown. So I opened my countdown this morning, and I show you how the stitching that I did yesterday and the knitting that I did yesterday. So I'll put that in here. Good morning. It is day 9. Here is my stitching update, and also we're going to open day 9. So you can see here, this is my progress from last night, and we really just worked in this row here. I got the birds in, and then did the hearts, and I just noticed missing a stitch right there, a red one in poinsettia, so I will have to get that in tonight when it's time to start stitching. All right, so day 9. Now, Caroline did hint that there was a mistake in day 6 or 7, that, you know, there was a symbol here in the middle of each of these. That was our day 9 color. So any guesses what day 9 might be? Let's find out. So here's the pattern. I always end up putting it upside down. There we go. It's about time for a white. It's not really white, it's definitely a cream color. So that is creme fraiche. You can kind of see how it goes with the other colors. Okay, so creme fraiche goes, like we talked about, in the middle of each of these like circle things. There is like a little snowflake looking thing in the middle of each of these hearts, like in the little V of the hearts. And then there is a white band down here with some start of like, it's just 3 little stitches, sort of like these, but just on the bottom, down through here. So definitely getting ready to like build a new band. So really, honestly, not a ton of stitching. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 to get what the accents in here done, and then it's 1 straight band across, which isn't much, right? It's like 73 across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then about 30 stitches inside the band. So really, we're talking maybe 120, 150 stitches, somewhere in there. I don't even know. It's early. The numbers, I said them out loud and then they didn't stick in my head to count them up, but yeah. And let's see, so on the card today, we are sharing some of our favorite holiday traditions on YouTube pages today. So Off the Grid Needle Arts and Modern Folk Embroidery will have holiday traditions I think I have two favorite holiday traditions that come to mind, like first and foremost. When I was growing up, we always had manicotti for Christmas Eve dinner, and that is something that I have carried on with my family. Like, it's not Christmas Eve unless we've had manicotti for dinner. So, and then I think the new tradition that is my favorite with my family is we open Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve. So I pick them out, and my family doesn't know what they look like. So we open them and we get cozy and we watch a Christmas movie or two and just relax. So those are my favorite traditions. I finished the clue from 2 days ago on the Imagine Landscapes Gnome Knit Along. This is the base of the gnome here, I'm pretty sure. So where this pearl bump is where he'll kind of sit. It's hard because he's still on the needles, but I'll sit like this, flat. And then this is the start of the body here. This is as far as we've gotten. So the directions did say to cut a piece of yarn and put these stitches on that yarn as a placeholder. And so I don't know, I'm imagining we're probably going to get a knitting clue today. So I'm curious to see if we're continuing on or if there's like another piece we're picking up. I have another set of circulars if I need it, and also I still have my double pointed, so I just decided to leave them on here just in case we're going to keep going somehow, or when we're ready to keep going. I think that she would have had us, I don't know, last time we left it on the needles if we were going to just keep going with the next clue. So I'm curious to see what she has in store for us, but I have enough needles because this is the same size I use for sock knitting. That I think I'll be okay for now, at least leaving it on my circular needles and seeing what the clue is for today. So I'm going to put that in my fun little knitting bag and get ready for the day. I'll see you when I get home from work. All right, so the white is really pretty. Not as exciting, maybe, as the poinsettia or the Tenenbaum, not as controversial, perhaps, as the Besnickel, but I think necessary. And so I'm excited to get a little bit of like that white accent in there and kind of see with that new band what it will become. So I'm really enjoying the stitch so far. I'm loving that it's not like super overwhelming. Yeah, it's good. After I filmed the video, I went to work, and then usually by the time I get to work, or a few hours after I get to work, is when the Imagine Landscapes gnome clues will come out. So we did receive a knitting clue today. Sometimes it's stories or recipes, those kinds of things. And so today it is a knitting piece for our gnome, and it's a beard. And so it's a little bit controversial, not controversial, but it's just a little bit up to your preference whether or not you feel like female gendered gnomes have beards or not, or if this particular female gnome has a beard, or if your gnome's even a girl. So, I mean, it's what you want it to be. So Sarah encouraged us to knit the beard and then see how it kind of comes together in the end, and decide at the end if we want to put it on. It shouldn't take very long to knit it up. My color is like a gray color for my beard and accent colors. It's like a light gray. That's the first time I've used a light gray for a beard, so I'm interested to see how it comes out. And yeah, so today is really like I got a bunch of Christmas shopping done. And by shopping, some of that was in person, some of that is online, so I'll be getting some packages in the mail. I told myself, and we'll see if I stick to this, that it's probably about time to start wrapping presents so that I'm not wrapping a ton all at once, because I get kind of grumpy if I have to wrap like a ton all at once. So maybe picking a few every day to kind of wrap and sorting through like what I want to be special in case there's little ears around, or in what is like the gifts from my husband and I. So we are finally hopefully going to decorate for Christmas tomorrow. We usually are 2 weeks into having been decorated. We just have had a busy end of November, beginning of December, which is fine. Maybe this year we won't be sick of it by New Year's, is when usually the day after New Year's is when we take everything down, but like that last few days I'm usually pretty over it. It's beautiful and I love it and I love having it up, but after a while it's just a lot of extra stuff, and it just feels nice and fresh once everything is down and put away, and the space is kind of like fresh for the new year. So anyways, I'm hoping that we can get that done tomorrow and still have time for stitching and clue stuff and maybe some extra stitching. I wanted to show you my gnome. This is my gnome, but I did not knit it, from last year. So a few episodes ago, I don't remember what day, I showed you the gnome that I knit last year. It was my very first gnome, and my mother-in-law, for her birthday, I bought her a kit in this colorway by Emma's Yarn to knit along with me. And yeah, so this is the gnome that she knit and then gave to me. She added a few features. So she gave her gnome thumbs, so it looks like he has mittens on, which is super adorable. And she made little pockets for his front. She just, you can tell this is the first time she's knit a gnome. It might be I'm pretty sure it'll be her last too. She didn't enjoy working with the small gauge yarn. Maybe I can convince her to knit a really big one, right? Because it's really just about the size of the yarn and the size of the needles. You can really knit the pattern with any size. Anyways, but look at how like perfect her knitting is. It's beautiful. She definitely gives me something to aspire to. She's also really good at felting. So she felted a little mouse that comes out of his pocket. And he is adorable. Look at all of his detail there. A tassel. And then she gave her newt braids with some accent bows. And there's her little backpack. I mean, her knitting is just perfect. There's that 3 needle bind off that I was talking about. I wasn't crazy. We did do that at the bottom of that backpack. And here's a close-up of Newt. And then she felted her lantern. So Nimble Woods is the light bringer. That was his story. Or Nombleberry, sorry, is the light bringer. And so on the darkest night, which is the solstice, he's in charge of bringing the light. And so that's how she kind of did the lantern. So the lantern, the mouse, the pockets on Nombleberry, those are all like little extras that she chose to do to kind of enhance it. And that's what I love about this stitch along, is seeing all the different ideas that people have and kind of making it your own, and also just kind of having like the time to like add these little bit of extra things as you get those breaks throughout the stitching time. You can come up with ideas for like making little extras. So yeah, I think she did a really beautiful job, and I am happy to have this Nombleberry living with my gnomes. So he's gonna go back up on his spot on the shelf. Okay, really quick, one more thing to show you. I have an update on Christmas Eve by Prairie Schooler. That's what the pattern looks like. After I finished knitting, and then after I finished cross-stitching the day 8 clue, I had a little time to cross-stitch some more. So I didn't stitch a super long time. I actually made myself go to bed at a decent-ish time last night. So I think before I had the yellow house done, or did I have up to the yellow house? I think I had the yellow house done. So I did this set of trees and then the fill-in, the main part of the fill-in for the house. And so I'm hoping now I have just another set of evergreens here. And then I have 2 like tree branches, like not tree branches, but they're trees without leaves on them. So like deciduous trees with snow. So really I just need to get these evergreen trees in, get the trunk and the branches for the 2 trees that go here. And then the rest will be like snow and fill in, getting the roofs done. I think there might be a few chimneys I need to add, getting the windows filled in. All of that stuff will be a lot simpler once the houses are filled in. And then I think there's some more accent work I have to do back up here. So fill in the rest of the sled, and then his blanket has a lighter green color in the quilting. And then down at the bottom, it says Merry Christmas, Joy, Peace, and Love, I think. There's 3 other words other than Merry Christmas down in the snow. And then all of the fill-in around there. The pattern is right here, silly. There's 4 other words. So it's Noel, Peace, Love, and Joy. And they're in like this really faint color. I've seen other people do the red and green from the pattern in here, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm getting fairly close. I think that white's going to be slightly tedious, but that's my plan, is to kind of get everything else done and then save the fill-in for last, and then that can be like a mindless stitch. Even if I don't finish this Christmas season, this would be like a great piece to take to, once I just have the snow, it would be a great piece to take to a retreat, because it's like just fill in. Or for frogworts, we have stitching challenges. Frogworts is by the Black Needle Society. It's a Harry Potter themed stitch. We are on year 4 this year. And so year 4 of the story includes the Yule Ball. And so I don't really know, but I'm hoping that some of the clues, so if you meet the prompt or the clue, then you get like full points. And if you, for as many based on how many stitches you get in an hour. And so, but if you don't have a prompt that matches, you just get half of those points. So it's like you can still stitch and get some points, but it's like a penalty. Anyways, so I'm hoping that there will be some Christmas themed clues that might fit for that too. And then also with frogworts, it's like, we'll talk about it more as it gets closer, but it's competitive cross stitching, really, like so you earn points throughout the weekend doing various different things, and one of the things that you can earn points for is finishing pieces. So if there's a piece like this one that I can stitch on for a clue and then also be really close to finishing, I can get extra points for finishing it. And last year I won the Ravenclaw House Cup. So there was like an overall winner, and then there was a winner for the highest score in each house. And I won that one for Ravenclaw. I was blown away. It was my very first cross-stitch retreat, my first frogworts. And I thought, there's no way. And then they announced my name and I was like in denial. It's like, no way, you're kidding. It can't be. So I had a ton of fun. I stitched like crazy. It was great. So anyways, that's my plan, is to maybe get a little bit further with that one. I'm staring like off behind the camera because I have some really, really beautiful patterns that I want to start. I have some really, really beautiful patterns that I've started that I want to get back to. I've been really enjoying my holiday stitching and my countdown. There's just not enough time to stitch all the beautiful things. And so I'm really struggling with wanting to start all the things, but wanting to work on what I already have, and like feeling like there's just not enough time to like touch and pet and work on all of the beautiful things. So maybe I'll show those. I don't want this to be too long, so maybe I'll show those in a future episode. I do have a start that I'm planning on for Christmas Eve. I have at least 2 New Year's starts. There's another one that's really calling my name, but I don't know. I really want to get done my 2022 Modern Folk Embroidery sale so that I can get, like, kind of check it off the list, and I don't feel like it's, like, I'm enjoying stitching it, but the fact that it's supposed to be done by 2022 is, like, lingering on me, and, like, I'm worried that I'm going to get distracted by all the other things and, like, never get back to it. And I've put so much time into it this year, and I really do love it, that, like, I feel like I need to get it done before I get too distracted, but I also, like, want to do enjoyable things. But I am enjoying it, but maybe not as much. It's like a whole thing. Please tell me if you relate to all of these feelings of, I want to start all these new things, but I also, like, want to stitch on what I have, but, like, there's not time in the day for everything, and, like, how you combat that, or, like, what things go through your head to kind of help you navigate that. Is it really just as simple as, like, you stitch what you want when you want? Maybe that's the answer. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And I'm gonna go get moving along with my evening and get this uploaded, and I will see you tomorrow morning. I will probably sleep in a little bit and then wait for the Imagine Landscapes clue to come out before I do my unboxing, so I can kind of do it, like, all in one fell swoop and then get it uploaded for you tomorrow night. So have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.